Alright team, welcome back. Another successful downwinder here in Fiji. Got some gear for us to look at. PPC gear, love the wings, love their boards, and I use their pedals. The boards are super strong. Got some Axis gear, proto board unfortunately. Spitfire today, bit of a surfier feel. See how we go on that one. Beautiful bumps here. This is on the outer reef, so it's quite shallow. Other gear, I've added the Monera wing pedal attachments, so those are new. I've been using those for a while now. Excellent for attaching your paddle to the wing. But anyway, there we are. Got some outer reef action for you guys. 2.5, 3 Ks offshore. I've left this in so you can see the dismount and some of the size of the bumps from this perspective. Try to keep my wing dry for all of these. And there we go, we've got a paddle up sequence here. See, it's shallow. I'm right on the edge of the outer reef, so that's kind of cool. Couple of steep bumps there, that's a good one. It might be too good. Might not be able to catch it with the bigger foil. You might need a longer, narrower board for that sort of thing. But we'll see. I've got the drone filming me here, so really am on a time limit, and I need to make these paddle ups happen. But that sort of stress doesn't do you any favors out there, so I'm also just trying to stay cool, stay calm, and take my time, but within an efficient time period. So I'm taking my time, but I'm also looking for every opportunity. Keeping my paddling pretty consistent, and now I'm waiting for something that I can catch. I want a bit of a push, something steep so that I can dip the nose of the board down. If you're on the flats, you can't turn your nose downward and pick up, or use the gravity basically to help you. So if a wave picks you up, as it's picking you up, your nose will dip. And at that point, you can pull your board out of the water and you'll start falling. And that fall creates good forward speed for your paddle up. Paddling up in flats is pretty difficult. If you're back foot heavy and your nose is high, it's really difficult too. And you'll need a foil with a super slow takeoff speed. As we watch, we got quite a different range of bumps. That one was kind of wide, but not too tall. That one's kind of bypassed me. I'm left in a bit of a flat spot. That one's gone under me, so it hasn't affected me much. I've got a push there, so that probably woke me up. A couple of paddles. You can see I'm not trying hard as far as the paddling goes. I do some exploratory paddles, and if it feels like it's going to work, I'll go for it. But if I feel like I'm already losing ground on the bump, I'll just stop and wait for a better moment. This thing looks a bit steeper. Okay, tried hard there. And then when you can see with the right bump, it's super easy to get up and going. So here we are, back to surfing the blue waters of Fiji. The only thing I have to worry about now is trying to ride with some style. So hopefully that happens. Nice lump there. I'm up high. I've got a good view of the rest of the ocean, being up high on that bump. That's one of the upsides of height in the ocean. You can see a long way and you can see the terrain around you. And so not only is riding your mast high in the water column efficient as far as the physics of it go, but it just gives you a really good view. If you're stuck in a trough and panicking, it's really hard to see what's going on, and you've got to put in so much work just to get a view back. See the outer reef there again in the background. Not much going on here, micro bumps. So there's kind of a big bump just passing under me there, and we can see micro bump contours on top of it. So I'm going to try and tap into those micro bumps a little bit. They can sustain some energy for me, and then I'll use that to try and tap into something a little bit bigger and more reliable. So don't be fooled, those little bumps, they can be used, but they're not sustainable for a long journey. Doing some turns. It's nice not having to film with the GoPro. I get the use of my pedal. And I always like to see if I'm pumping in the middle of my turns. If I'm not, or readjusting, I'm pretty happy. So what should we look for here? I reckon we try and pick out some mistakes or positives, and let's just see what's happening. There's a shallow dip in front of me there. That's not a full bump. It's kind of like a valley on top of a bump. So it's not mega energy, it's kind of light energy. But I'm able to weave my way through it. Little valley there opening up for me. Using these valleys when you're up on top of like an energy plateau can be quite helpful. If nothing else, they just give you something visually to follow while you wait for something steep to happen. So anyway, let's pick out some mistakes. Touch the board down there, that's not optimal. Pumping, but there's probably not much I could do there. I could ride higher and maybe have got some glide through that section. Riding pretty well there. Some pumping I probably didn't need to. I could have done a bit of a weave there. Turn, but with touchdown again, so that's not ideal. Doing some snakies, feeling the system. I'm obviously liking how it feels. But I got carried away with them, and so I had to pump out of it. But I can see good energy in front of me there. That's exciting. When you see that on the water, you've got nothing to worry about. Hunting the bump, got caught behind, so I had to do a couple of paddles to catch it back up. Turning on high points, turning down a ridgeline there, that's really cool. Nice mast height. Let my energy fade there, but there was kind of nowhere to go. Maybe I could have gone right. So I'm on the top of a plateau again, using these minor valleys. And there with that sunlight, you can see the ridge lines in front of me, like corduroy. You can't just run through those. You gotta weave your way around until you see a bit of an opening. And an opening can be an overlapping swell that you can ride down the line of that new overlapped swell through the corduroy. Or get some momentum that you can get through it. You don't want to be slog pumping through those things. I think a lot of people do that, and it's potentially harming them for their downwinding. Nice hill there, so I've got some downhill in front obviously. Running off down the line, found a steep section, did a turn, couple of pumps to build speed so that I can do another turn and likely catch that bit of a wave that I'm on there. Rolled off that one, faded it down the line. On the hunt here, more a hunt for turns rather than more downwinding focused things. I've been using HA foils, so now this is on a Spitfire, so I get to have a bit more of a play around. And it looks like my foil is almost the perfect pace for these bumps. I could speed it up, which would be great, and I wouldn't have to add much energy at the top end, but then I lose a little bit of my bottom end. And if you have to go fast, well then you kind of have to have somewhere to go, and the terrain doesn't always offer that. There we go, that's a beautiful view. See some weaving there, some snakies. You don't really get to see that from side on, so that's really cool. I'm just seeing this for the first time with you guys. Nice. On top of a ridge line I can see there. You can kind of see the I don't know what the word is, topography of the ocean from that view. And it looks like when they build rice paddies in the hills in Asia, and you can see all those lines. You can kind of use that same visual thinking when you're in the ocean and just stay up high on one of those ridge lines. There's no need to drop down, and you can ride along those ridges, like maybe rather than going through them. Because if you drop down a swell, you get to the bottom and all of a sudden you've got no energy left. Not your energy, but the ocean's energy. So if you can just trim along and create a more gradual downhill for yourself and not get too greedy, you'll have a bit more success and longevity. I think I'm feeling this setup here. There's some good little turns. Those are fun. You can really start feeling grip with your foil. You know, foils can feel quite slick, but I like it when I can feel my foil and then I'm working it and I can feel the complete system. You start feeling the rear foil. You can feel the distance between the rear foil and the front foil. How tight you can turn without forcing that rear foil through the water versus flying it or gliding it through. There we are. Got some reef there. That's that central reef. Back to the inside, guys. I enjoyed that run. There's some nice turns there. I was trying to look for negatives, but there weren't too many, so that's good. Positives, I think overall, pretty good ride. It's always nice getting home. Getting back in one piece, no injuries. You got the stoke. I fill with stoke, and people can see it around me. I get upbeat for the rest of the day after I've worked hard and successfully done a downwinder. So here's home. This is where we rest at the end of the day, drink our coconuts, play with the dogs, think about the next day, look at the reports. Look after yourselves, guys, and be good. See ya.